Howdy, everybody. Welcome on into the cargo bay where it's time for a little bit of hobby talk.
What?
Whoa!
Am I in the right place? Is this hobby talk?
This is the cargo bay, and BC, we have top Star Wars trading card news. Sort of. I mean, not breaking, but there's new stuff to talk about.
When has the cargo bay ever been your source for breaking news? We're your at best late, not even breaking, like 3-week old news, but we've got some soft opinions about it, which is probably why our audience is so big.
Look, this is non-reactionary. It's a little late, but we are going to talk about what we think about this new top Star Wars set. There's a lot going on with it, so we'll tell you if we think that, it's going to be so valuable, you better buy it.
Oh, buy. Or you smashing the sell button right now.
Sell it.
Sell.
There's more to talk about than pricing, but we will be talking about pricing. Before we get started, BC, everybody out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ooh.
Hey, great news. We've cleared the 400 threshold by a few use, so we're not in danger right now falling back into the 300. So everybody, diamond hands, don't jump ship on us. We need you. We're gonna get to 500 by the year 2029.
I think that'd be pretty good. I'd be pleased with that.
Yeah, I think we're on pace.
Do you think we're on Topps' influencer radar yet? Is Fanatics going to start sending us those packages? Are we too real? Are we too honest?
We're too darn real for you Fanatics. They don't want to know what I think of Breaker's Delight. That being said, if they did want to send us stuff for free, I'd gladly shill for them. But no, it doesn't seem like they're too interested in the cargo bay.
Well, if anyone's got any connections,
enormous power we wield. So,
let us know if you got connections to Fanatics. You want to hook us up with free product because we haven't been buying a lot of it. But BC 2024 top Star Wars Chrome, it's here.
It's here. It's out in the world. I threw this together as our first slide. There's a few things I think are interesting and of note. You've got Shin Hati, who's just crushing the market right now.
I bet.
Everyone's favorite character from Ahsoka. She's got the debut up there.
That's a good-looking card. I haven't looked at prices on her autos. I'm sure they're going crazy right now. I will say, if you're going to invest, quote-unquote, if there's a first appearance character that is the hot character that's a first appearance and an auto at the same time, it's probably this. And also, mostly I just want to say it's a good looking card. It's a good...
I think it's a great looking card.
Yeah.
Her pricing is strong compared to most of the other autos in this set. The thing I think is interesting is the prices are high. Like, they're in the 150, 200, 300 range on up, depending on what you get. But there are base autos. She has unnumbered autos in the set. There's a ton of these, I think.
There's at least 199 plus 99 plus 50 plus 25.
Yeah, plus 10, like it on and on and on. And then all of the unnumbered base stuff. So my thinking is, if you want sound advice, if you have it, sell it now, because you'll be able to buy it later for a much lower cost. Because not all this has been open, and there's just going to be more that comes out, which I think is a good thing for collectors in general. But the pricing right now is kind of weird.
I think that's the main takeaway. Is just there's a lot of this. The price is going to fluctuate because there's a lot of it. I will say, it's if you look at like John Boyega, Finn, it's a pretty cheap autograph, right? For whatever reason, people have decided we're not going to pump the price on Finn. The potential for the character is dry. or whatever. If you look at those, the rookie card, the first appearance card of Finn as an autograph, they're not worth much more than other Finn autographs. Like you can, at least recently, you could get an of 10 that was like the first trading card set that had his autograph in it for not much money. I'll be curious to see long run if Shin Hati, let's say Shin Hati gets her own movie in 10 years, BC. Are these first appearance autographs going to be worth more than subsequent autographs? Because there are 10,000 stickers sitting in that Fanatics warehouse somewhere. And probably, we'll see. Obviously, that's what they're trying to do, is drum up some hype.
Yes.
But I'm kind of surprised that you say $200, $300. That's all these are going for, because the quantity hasn't seemed to have quelled the market hype, and I think that's also because a lot of sports collectors are coming in. People who don't understand maybe the overall demand for Star Wars trading cards are maybe buying some of this right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of I'd say there's new money in the in the Star Wars trading card market. I don't know if it's the smartest money, but it's there. Yeah, I don't think there will ever be a more valuable Shin Hati autograph than the one with her debut insignia. That said, I do still think if you have it, sell it now and then buy it in a year for half of the price. Like, I just think that I don't think the price is going to hold based off of all the hype that's on this card, because what if she doesn't get her own movie? What if she doesn't take off in the Mandalorian story? What if we just don't see her again?
What if overall the cult of Star Wars is subsiding? What if we reached the peak of Star Wars fandom some time ago? I think these are questions that are valid.
Definitely valid questions. Yeah, no, it's totally valid, but I think it's what I have enjoyed about this, or what I like about the cards on here in general, is that, like, you see a Cobb Vanth of 99. Yeah. In the past, he maybe would have been an of 25, maybe an of 50. You're seeing more of it, which is good.
Yeah.
You're seeing Sabine. This is the first live action Sabine autograph in a base. There's a lot of it. Her market, similar to Shin's market, is high, right? Like, there's value in the Ahsoka live action show characters' first appearance autographs. Again, I don't know that holds or rises ever. I don't think there's anything that can happen that's going to make the prices go higher than they are now, which is why I would say if you have it, sell it, buy it later. But that's just speculation. I could be wrong about that. And then finally, the client, Werner Herzog in unnumbered autos. What a glorious day. What an exciting time to be alive. I sent you a screenshot. I put in an offer on an of 199 because, like, a numbered Werner Herzog auto for $30. Don't mind if I do. Long wanted to be in the collection, and I'm thankful that this set was just like, we got all these Werner Herzog autographs sitting around. Why don't we, release them to the public as part of this set as a pretty decent auto you can get.
It is. I wish these blasters could make it to shelves. Because I do think, like, your odds of getting something out of one of these boxes where it's like, oh, that's a really cool hit, I think is much higher with this than it has been, no matter how much they printed of it, for that reason. And I also, being a big Werner Herzog fan, I think it's one of the coolest Star Wars autographs you can have. Yeah. It's a total oddity. It's like, it's very, very cool. I love that this is going to drop prices and make it accessible to a ton of people. That was a card I was worried about, where it was like, maybe he's done signing stickers and it's going to be really hard to get these in 20 years, or whatever. Like, these will be scarce. No, we got base autos coming from Werner Herzog, and I love that.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, as a Grizzly Man fan, I was like, this has got to be in the collection.
Cave of Forgotten Dreams might be my favorite, which
I
is
mean,
like just him talking about the wonder of cave paintings.
genius. For all our Herzog heads out there, just drop a below Herzog head. We appreciate any Herzog heads like us out there.
What's the name of his autobiography he just put out? I think it's Every Man for Himself and God Against All.
Yes. Yes.
He rules. Werner Herzog is one of the greatest humans.
Iconic Mandalorian season 1 performance. Yeah. It's insane that he's in that show.
And
it also makes so much sense.
And also the lore is partially responsible for why Grogu was a puppet more than CG. Was because he said if you replace this with CG, you're a coward. This puppet has a deep humanity.
He got it immediately. When he speaks, you listen.
And he always talks fondly in interviews about having done Star Wars, which is, nice from someone who is an acclaimed director of maybe more artistic properties.
A true artist, just sort of playing in the shallow end of the pool here creatively, but enjoying himself nonetheless.
Love it. I want to see where those Cobb Vanth cards settle. That'll be cool to see. I've clicked over to the next autograph page, BC, and man, the fun doesn't end with the highest dollar signers, does it?
No. Look at this. This is a sampling, and now I will say this is I both love and fear this slide because I get the sense we are never getting an Andor set like you and I have desperately wanted.
Yeah.
But if you're a big Andor head, wow, what a set for autographs this is.
That Brasso is maybe one of the best trading cards ever. Made.
Just period. Brasso heads, check it in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Might just be me and you, but
holding the rearing the brick back in what is clearly a production, like
a beautiful production shot of him with Marva's brick ready to just smash some Imperials, do the work. I absolutely love it. I love that Andy Serkis has autos 2 of 99 again.
Awesome.
Seeing at an approachable price point for some Kino Loy autos. You've got some great background characters who have great scenes. I did pick up a Nimic auto for like $12. The idealistic revolutionary of the rebellion. Had to add it to the collection.
The best thing you can do in Star Wars is get into a good movie or show and get out, baby. And that's Nimic and Kino Loy.
Like Partagas, Major Partagas autos. That guy's he's a scene stealer. He's so good.
Yeah.
The two guys that Andor just wipes at the beginning in the first episode autos. They had no right to. They have no right to be as good as they are in their 1.5 scenes that they're in, but they rule. I don't know if we're ever gonna get, and I will never know the character's name unless I go and look it up. But the Karn's manager.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
if that guy ever gets an auto, I'm chasing it. I'm going after it like a madman. But yeah, you've got the Mon Mothma husband, daughter, just a killer Andor set of autographs. Big thumbs up from me. I'm chasing these in various price ranges, but even a Kino Loy, Andy Serkis, if I'm gonna break the bank, I could probably get one for less than $100.
Yeah,
which is less than the price of the box.
It's a better place than we've been in autograph wise for a long time. And this is what we wanted out of an Andor set too, was Give us all those autographs of like
Everybody.
any Andor character I would like to
Yes.
have an autograph of, and it's
Got
cool to
quad
see
power? Are
them.
you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah, sick. And the you know the I think the image selection for the characters is mostly really good on these cards. The background, the nebula, it can look a little pukey, or
Yeah.
it can look pretty cool. It kind of varies on the color combination, but
Yeah.
overall, these are attractive cards compared to last year's Chrome. I think a lot. So if you're an autograph collector, it's
Yeah.
looking good out there. I think the eBay prices might cool even more
Yeah.
as more is opened, and that's nice.
That's the challenge for me, is that like I saw these and I'm such a crazy Andor fan. I'm like, I gotta get them all right now. I'm like, wait, practice what you preach, BC. You gotta practice what you preach. Wait.
Well,
The prices will come down.
I was arguing between buying a blaster or just getting one card, and I got one card that was definitely overpriced, but I just wanted to be like, I got it. I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about that maybe in
Because
another slide.
that was my thinking too. Is like I thought initially about a hobby box when they were at 110, and then I was like, you know what? I'd rather take the $110, not get screwed with my pants on, and then just go buy $110 that I absolutely know that I want, which is what I'm doing at this point. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You're even though the prices are maybe inflated and there's a lot of stuff going on, your $110 can still stretch pretty far if you're not looking for the absolute most sought after stuff.
Yeah,
right now.
for sure.
I'm clicking this slide, BC, which takes us to some interesting eBay sales. We're looking at these Arubesh card variants, which I didn't know there were going to be parallels of these. I didn't remember that, but the Arubesh is just the text. You know, it's just it is just the what is our alphabet called? The Greco-Roman alphabet. What is that? What I maybe not. The characters that we use to write English are just directly translated into Arabesh letter for letter. And I'm not sure if it started as a fan thing that made that. Like, I think that the characters existed in the world of Star Wars, and maybe at some point fans were like, let's just pair this up with letters. Anyway, now it's somewhat official, and these variants of the cards are just the names translated, you know, as a code basically into Arabesh, and I really like these. I think they're cool. But man, they are definitely getting bid up. They're
absolutely cool. I think they look cool. It is interesting to me that because of the Arabesh parallels, that basically you have double sets of every parallel up to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Like including there's two Superfractors. There's the regular old Greco-Roman Superfractor, and then there's the Arabesh Superfractor. So it is like, hey, we made a lot of this. We want to find another way to get those hits out there. What's a creative way we can do it? Arabesh, and it looks cool. I like it. I think visually, it's a good look. But yeah, some of the, and to me, I look at a Kit Fisto 105. I don't think I'd pay $101 for it, but I can, if you've got the budget, like that's a cool card, a 105. And if you're a Kit Fisto collector, to have the 105 Arabesh, like I can see that price. You know what I mean?
It is. I mean, the appeal is that this has never been done before, you know, and maybe it's something they'll do again in the future. But that is a high price for even a Nub 5 of Kit Fisto. And this isn't the end of the auction. There's still 16 hours left when I screen cap this. So this was on its way up. And the thing about this Vader, this lava refractor, which is an of 10, and it looks cool, and it makes sense to have a Darth Vader and a lava refractor. There was a big old print line down the center of this bad boy, and it still had hours left to go and was already up to $176. So this is kind of leading into the discussion of there's stuff selling out of this set at prices that we haven't seen since like 2021 Galaxy almost. You know, there's some really, there are some cards that are being bid up right now. I would not advise. I would not advise striking now. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There was a time where I bought a lot of cards that were very expensive and seemed more expensive than anything else on the market, and they're still worth now more than what I paid for them. But I would have given different advice then. So I could be wrong, but I think it's crazy to get in these bidding wars as soon as something is ripped like this.
I think you're absolutely right. And like it, we've at this point covered a few years worth of Star Wars releases where we're like, we kind of watch what happens, and it's like they come out and everyone on the block is like, this is the new cool thing, and that's great, and it's exciting, and those prices are up and they're selling strong. And then like a year later, I was like, I'll
What's the
pay a
next
fifth
thing?
of the price. Yeah, you're on to the next thing. Star Wars ain't like sports cards where you can invest in these things and they're going to go out and hit 4 home runs in a game and the prices surge. You know what I mean? Like there's speculation in Shin Hati autographs. Or like maybe she'll get her own whatever. Maybe she'll pop in the next thing. It's like, cool, okay. The odds of that actually happening, if we're being realistic, I think are very low. But if you're going to try to invest in something from this set, like it's a place to put your money. You know what I mean?
The first appearance stamp is something that will mark it as unique for a long time to come. My biggest thing with Shin Hati it's kind of my same thing with Ahsoka. We've had people that are mad at us because we don't think that the Ahsoka rookie foil is maybe worth tons of money or will explode in value. And my thing is, I know a lot of people watch the Ahsoka TV show. I don't think it has the cultural significance of the original Star Wars trilogy. I don't think there are going to be more people who grow up and think, I really need an Ahsoka trading card, than there are people who think that now. I could be wrong, of course. But I just don't think it resonates the same way through the culture.
Like, let's be very honest, it's definitely not, right? Like the market for what the original trilogy is always will forever and always in perpetuity forever outpace Clone Wars.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean Clone Wars is bad. It doesn't mean it's not important. I love Clone Wars. I love Rebels. I love Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But the market of people who are like clamoring for that will never be the same, I don't believe, as the original trilogy, because it was such a zeitgeist thing that happened.
And also the cards themselves, there's not nostalgia for kids with these cards because they can't afford them. They're not picking them up at the drugstore, like I think is a big part of it. This was always a weird mass, but anyway, I digress. I'm just saying
it's a good digression.
Yeah. Be careful because you love Star Wars and I love Star Wars, and there's so many of these cards printed. There are 9 million variations of every character because it's not sports. So just be careful out there. Just know what you're spending your money on before you do.
And that's the thing that I think is different about this, or at least to me, just as secondhand feels different to me about this, is how many more people are coming into this product. Like this is a lot of people's entry point into Star Wars trading cards, right? Like Fanatics is putting the hard push on this. Like I've seen more social media stuff about this than I have about, Finest or Chrome Galaxy. Like, and it does feel like there is new eyes on this. There's new money in Star Wars trading cards, which whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm always just like, be careful because none of this stuff is really that valuable. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there are incredibly valuable cards, but they're rare and they're few and far between. So if you come into Star Wars cards, you're like, this is how I'm gonna make my money. It's like, I got news for you, friend. This isn't really the hottest, Like, you have to work your ass off to make money in Star Wars trading cards.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to grind. It's not gonna be the world's easiest like flip. I don't know.
And I'm
Is kind
guessing
of my general sense.
I'm guessing that that's kind of how the sports card marketplace works too. Even though there
In a
is
lot of
more
ways.
value, it's all about dragging people in, and it's not a pyramid scheme, but it is. A lot of the content that I watch around cards or see around cards, not that I watch regularly, it's very
Right.
much like, oh, get excited! Oh,
Yeah.
we're gambling, baby! And it's like, well, I will say I'm very grateful that Fanatics is putting the spotlight on this. I'm glad there are more people coming in. I'm glad that the market is the market. I'm glad that these cards are selling for high prices because it represents interest, which means we might get more Star Wars cards. And
Right.
I'm glad that the interest is on a product like this versus something like Chrome Black, where this to me does seem like more fun and like there's more value, quote unquote, to be had. So anyway, just speaking to any newbies who may be watching, do your research, listen to other people if you want to listen to other people. You may disagree with us, but just make sure you don't go blowing a ton of money on some cardboard and think it's gonna return your money.
That's the big thing. That's forever and for always the Cargo Bay recommendation. Stay within your budget, and if you're comfortable hitting the buy it now button for price, go for it. But don't expect that it's going to retain or hold that value for very long.
Yeah, I have overpaid for many cards that I don't ever intend to sell, where I'm like, oh, that 1 of 5 or that 5 of 5 is definitely not worth that much money, but I'm gonna buy it because there might be one other person who wants it, and I want it instead of them having it. Like,
that's all it takes.
Yeah,
it's all it takes to drive a market is two people with a bank account.
Yeah, I'm just usually not driving that bidding war because I think I'm gonna make money, or that it'll be worth more later.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Dooku gear card or whatever that is, that's not in high demand. BC, what do we got on this page?
I just wanted to kind of show a smattering of what your average sort of parallel is like, because the hobby boxes I think basically are advertised as 1 auto, 4 parallels out of there. Originally this came out at $110. We'll talk about box pricing in a second, but if you're opening it, or you've got a breaker opening this product for you, like, oh my god, you got the Padme of 99, about a $15 card. So maybe hold on to your britches before you start getting way too excited.
And that's the Arabesh version, which is probably worth more than the other of 99.
Like a decent Rex of 150, a green Dooku 99. Again, this is just sort of the touch of reality for what those parallels, those coveted numbered cards out of a box of Chrome are valued at, or worth, is little in a lot of cases. Depends on what you hit. It depends on the rarity, of course. But a lot of the experiences that I was seeing people have with their hobby boxes that they were opening, it's kind of like, yeah, you'll probably get like $30 worth of cards out of your $110 box. I mean, like on average, unless you hit a whale, you go crazy. That's the temper your expectations kind of thing. It's the gamble, which I love, but I'm not in a financial situation where I can be like, I'm gonna gamble on a hobby box and then feel really bad about myself when I don't get anything that I'm excited about. So
yeah, I would like to rip one of these at some point. We'll see if those box prices come now, but first, look at these Superfractors. I mean, Balin Skull, if you're gonna pay $3,000 for a Superfractor, first appearance of someone who's no longer on this planet, maybe that's I've seen Superfractors sell for more that made me raise my eyebrows more. But,
yeah. I don't. If you're a collector and you're in that situation where it's like I just have to have it, fantastic. I always do think of it as because you and I are blaster boys at heart.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who are maybe new here, we're on the blaster budget, not the hobby budget. When I look at someone paying $3,000 for a Balin skull, I'm like, I hope you're really comfortable just having that as the centerpiece a piece of your collection, and not like this is gonna take me somewhere in the future.
I assume I just know there's so many people who have so much more money than I can imagine.
I know.
Like
I know.
That to them this is we live in a society where many people hold wealth that could change the lives of others, and I understand that, like, instead maybe you want to get a $3,000 trading card, which is fair.
So
it's fine. It's your money. I'm just saying,
yeah.
I understand that. I can't fathom that, but there are probably like 15 people out there who would pay around this for a card, I guess. I don't know. I know there's a lot. I just can't comprehend that, but I know it's not that uncommon to be upper middle class. It's way out of reach for me in my life, but there is a portion of the country that is upper middle class and has big time disposable income. I look at $3,000 and think that's like what you could have bought a jet ski for in the 90s, I feel like.
Do I go jet ski or do I go Balin skull Superfractor?
Arkansas is a big lake state, and we couldn't afford a boat when I was younger, so we got a 3-seater jet ski when my dad had a midlife crisis, and I think it probably cost less than that card, and we rode that thing for years. We even fished off the back of that jet ski, if you want to talk about some redneck behavior.
That's an amazing visual. Thank you for sharing with me and the audience.
Open the back seat up, pull out the little pocket fishing rod, stick it together, put the little brim in the ice chest, take it home, and
I love the idea of the jet ski as the midlife crisis thing, because we're going to set cards aside for a minute here, folks. At that price point, you see a jet ski, you see a lake, and you go, at that price, where I am in my life right now, this makes a ton of sense. And your dad wasn't wrong.
He was right.
That's the thing.
He said, this is a lot safer than a motorcycle. I can't get a motorcycle. I got kids.
There you go.
Pretty cool, though.
Yep. Fishing out the back of the jet skis. Boom. You're saving on your docking costs. You don't got to dock a boat.
Just put it in the garage.
Stick that sucker in the garage.
Dip it in the water, go right around for 3 or 4 hours.
Love it.
Hit up Lake de Grey. I don't know what a jet ski goes for now, but I do understand the allure of exclusive cards. Of course, there's another Balin skull out there, like this Palpatine that is the Aurebesh Palpatine, and the Aurebesh looks really cool on that Superfractor Palpatine.
It does. It does.
You could have gotten your Matt Berry droid for only $335.
Do you feel cheated if you pull the Superfractor? Like, nah, but I know there's another one out there.
I would absolutely be disappointed that I didn't get the Aurebesh one, because that's what I would prefer. I would sell if I didn't get the Aurebesh. I think it was close to $20 with taxes and shipping to get an of 99 Luthen Aurebesh card. So I was like, that's a card I want out of this set. It's
solid.
It was a bidding war. I think that's too much money to pay for that card. But again, I just wanted to get it and not think about this set anymore. I wanted to be like, I got the card. Got that high dollar, $20 card, price of a box. Put it on my shelf. So
I long for the days when there are of 99.
Sorry, of 99. Your audio cut just a second there.
I was saying I long for the days when there are of 99 Luthen autos in a set, but I do not think that day is approaching us anytime soon.
No, Maybe they'll get them on set of. Well, I guess that would have already happened. Maybe they got some stickers signed on set of Andor season 2. We'll see.
We're gonna put a pile of cash in front of you. Now sign these stickers.
I want to look at these. Oh, that's right. I went to put these on the dock. You already had it taken care of, BC. The reflections are the big hits, which is my biggest disappointment with this set. These are reprints of Star Wars card trader cards that did have physical versions as part of the Star Wars trade. The digital Star Wars cards, there were some of them that got physical versions a long time ago, and these reflections were one of those sets. I've looked at buying those in the past because they're cool. Apparently, they're basically like case hits in this product.
Super short prints, yeah.
They're very cool cards. They're my favorite looking cards in this set, but I'll never get one because even when these prices fall, they're probably going to be, in the a little over $100 or something. I would imagine. At least, eBay's not going to let them sink. Sellers aren't going to let them sink for a long time because people are buying these things for $500 for a quarter of a jet ski.
That's how we should just start quantifying the price of cards. How much of a jet ski is this?
I'm probably. I'm
going to look up the price. I'm looking up the price of a jet ski for us right now. Don't worry, everybody.
It could be $20,000 now, for all I know. No, they couldn't be. They still got to be under 10,000 for a jet ski, right?
All right, let's go. Now,
let's look at the Sea-Doo.
Okay, I'm pulling a Sea-Doo right now.
Which is, by the way, referred to it as a Sea-Doo. Jet ski is I'm using that because that's a word of the people. In my mind, they're always Sea-Doos, even when they're a jet ski brand.
All right, here's the deal. Like any vehicle, you got your top of the line luxury editions on down to your sort of more recreational use Sea-Doos. If you're looking for, listen, if you want to get into a personal watercraft today, what kind of budget are we talking about? Are we talking about, are you going to be Sea-Dooing all the time, or is it just sort of the occasional Sea-Doo?
I want a mid-range used Sea-Doo.
Okay, well, let me tell you, now, sure, there's plenty of value in a mid-range used Sea-Doo, but let me talk you into maybe a mid-range, brand new spanking right off the line, because I can get you into 2025 GTI today. That's starting at $11,699. That's $11,699.
See, you get one of those suckers used for probably $8,000.
Now, if this is just something you want to play with on the weekends occasionally, you're not serious about it, I can get you into a Spark. This is a 2025 Spark, brand new, right off the line. That's only going to run you $7,000.
Okay.
So, but now, if you want the Fish Pro Apex, if you want to be known as the king of the
Can you fish on that thing?
It is marketed as a fishing Sea-Doo.
What? Visionaries.
My
dad was a visionary. A fishing Sea-Doo.
There was probably some account executive from Sea-Doo who saw your dad out there and was like, you know what? Not only is that a great idea, that's a top-of-the-line luxury idea. Because they're charging $25,000 for the Fish Pro Apex.
I will say our Sea-Doo was a 3-seater, so we could go out together. But
hey, I just want to ask you, what happens when a watercraft at the top of its class gets even better? It reaches the apex.
Oh, okay.
It's exclusive. It's rugged. It's high-end. It's the Fish Pro Apex, and its specialized fishing features make it the desire of every avid angler. Thanks for the alliteration.
Every angler is wishing they could throw their bass boat away and get a...
I gotta get on the back of a Sea-Doo.
I want one that attaches to my John boat, kind of like a sidecar thing that I can... Anyway, we really screwed up not being Sea-Doo influencers. We could have
we missed the boat on that one.
That's what a Sea-Doo is for, is when you miss the boat.
But here's the deal. I think if we want to talk about Sea-Doo money, if we looked at like last year's model used, we could definitely pick up a Sea-Doo for $3,000.
Maybe.
I think at the end of the day, we could get a $3,000.
We could get some kind of Sea-Doo for $3,000. We could get an operational Sea-Doo for
Yeah,
the price of Valen.
one that would require minimal maintenance to get it running at a level that's safe and appropriate.
So worth considering. Maybe look at some other hobbies if you're in that price range for your Star Wars cards. There's you could do things on this planet for that kind of money if you were unaware.
Could be out on the semi-open water of some backwoods lake.
That said,
ripping waves.
I for a long time spent a large portion. I don't have disposable income really at all at the moment. That $20 is the most I've spent on a Star Wars card in a long time. But when I did have more disposable income, I did spend a lot of it on Star Wars cards. So no judgment, just making sure you're aware.
We love Star Wars trading cards. Financial situations have dictated that maybe we're not as rabid collectors as we once were. We have a more discerning taste.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing that happens too when you get new cards of the same characters over and over, is just you get a little saturated. Where I'm like, you know what, I don't need to stick another blaster box of cards I'm never going to look at over there to get the one card that I'll put in a binder that I'll look at occasionally or whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking down the face of another
too what?
long move,
Yeah.
to actually pack all of my stuff and then go somewhere else. The last time I did that, I purged just a bunch of junk cards that I had. I'm looking at the pile of base cards from both baseball and my Star Wars stuff that I have, and I'm just like, am I gonna miss it if that just goes directly into the garbage?
Can I turn that back into a tree?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I do think becoming a more discerning collector has been good, both financially and emotionally in a lot of ways, and spatially,
And maybe that's how you are a discerning collector. You say, I'm going to spend $3,000 on Star Wars cards this year. One card, baby. Give me that Superfractor. I can understand it.
Yep.
Looking at these box prices, BC. Ooh, a hobby box up to $219.95.
Yeah, I didn't love that. Yeah, these were not, I guess not technically pre-order, but I guess you could order them through GameStop for $110 or whatever it was. You could get them very briefly on Topps website before they sold out, which I don't think is the case because there's still a bunch of them out there. But that limited run of the like $110 as the like entry point or price point, a lot of people were opening it. There was a lot of hype. There was a lot of excitement around it when it was at that price. And now that it's sold out and hard to get, the price is now doubled on those boxes in a lot of places. And it's just kind of like, this makes me feel icky in a lot of ways.
Well, I'm not going to buy it at this price.
Nope.
I
don't recommend anybody buy this at this price.
I think it'll come down. I could be wrong, but I think it will probably come down eventually, probably when the next set comes out.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is there are now Breakers Delay boxes, which was new to me, BC, because I don't know a lot about sports cards collecting, but this is essentially just one big pack of cards so that you don't have to keep ripping cards. Yeah. Is that how that works? And I'm guessing they get sent to influencers. I
don't know if it's sent.
They come with a big order, probably.
There may be. You buy them as their own separate SKU. So I mean, it's probably exclusive to people who have those types of giant accounts with fanatics. There probably has been some like, hey, let's get this on someone's page so people can see what it is. This is a relatively new phenomenon, even in sports cards, where, and I think in general, I absolutely hate this, just because it is so much like, hey, these breakers really are tired of just opening all the packs and throwing away those base cards that are worth absolutely nothing. So let's make a product for them that they can sell to you that makes their jobs easier, makes them happier, and we can charge an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes your odds look better, probably.
I watched. Now I know one of our loyal viewers was part of a 16. I think it was 16 case Breaker's Delight break, uh, and paid for a pretty big character spot in that break. And I watched the amount of just one pack being open. They go through it, they move on. One pack being open. There's a ton of them, right? They went through 16 cases of this specific product. The amount of individual boxes where they open, and I'm like, there's $12 worth of cards in there.
Oh, well, I do prefer that to them just being packed to make the product look better. You know, I would rather it be representative of your odds rather than
it is. I guess it's well marketed as Breaker's Delight because it's like, we can still screw you with your pants on and charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And we bear none of the cost. We're just like, hey, you paid for it, so here's your Lovey autograph. So, you know, like it is. It just seems like a cynical thing to me where they're like, no, this is exclusive. It's special. It's high end. You get 2 Star Wars autographs and no base numbered parallel cards, but you get exclusive Breaker's Delight unnumbered SKU. And we can charge twice the price for a box of this because you're going to get just a bounty of glorious cards out of this one special pack. And the amount of packs that they open is just like, a lot of those are garbage. Like, it was just garbage. It was the garbage of. I'm not trying to like be mean to the actress who plays Lovey. Like, whatever. She signs a lot of autographs. She was a background character in, I think, The Last Jedi. And it's just like, okay, cool. But if you bought into, Breaker's Delight, hoping to get the Natalie Portman auto, and you see 40 Lovey autographs get pulled, and you paid $1,600 trying to get Natalie Portman's autograph, at a certain point in the day, you're like, this delight does not extend to the consumer. It is literally just for the Breaker's Delight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's you're like, I guess it's right there in the name. This isn't the Collector's Delight. Otherwise, they would call it Collector's Delight. You know what I mean? We're like, these are loaded. It's got all the most exclusive stuff. It's like, no, we just put the same junk that's in a regular hobby box in there. But, there's less stuff you have to sort through to get to the hits,
That's it's interesting too, BC. This also brings up, and I just a heads up, I do have to take my dog out relatively soon.
Okay.
Before he pees his pants. But
we can rush. We can skip past the last couple.
I did want to mention also there's the Fanatics breaking platform, which was new to me. If you want our friend codes or our recommendation codes for that, you can use it. We'll put them in the comments. You can click that link and you'll get $25 free, and we'll get $25 free. You can pick either BC or me to throw some money at. BC, I signed up. I got $25 free. I wound up paying, $5 shipping to get one pack of Chrome Galaxy 23. It's not like there are crazy deals going on, but it is just like a social media platform that Fanatics has for breaking stuff, which is wild to see. It's honestly, like, it's kind of brilliant, where I'm like, this seems to work well. Technically, you can, if you're addicted to this stuff, boy howdy, can you really go down a wormhole?
It's really dangerous because you put your card in there and all you got to do is press a button. You're like, well, I'm rolling the dice. Like, that is almost exclusively what it is.
I can tell you, my interest is so low, I didn't even tune in. We'll see when my pack shows up, if I got anything. But yeah, I do think it's a danger.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a rabbit hole, and again, just be careful out there. Just be careful with your money. or don't. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
Do whatever
well,
you
you have
want
to
to
remember that most
do.
people who spend time on YouTube watching stuff about cards probably don't have to worry about their money as much
No,
as we do.
no.
But if you're
Take
out
it from a
there,
couple of broke blaster boys.
if you're a
You
broke blaster
maybe
boy like
watch your
us,
money.
watch your money. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Be
Yeah.
careful because the fees add up, everything adds up, and that pack break slot or that character break slot probably isn't going to give you the dopamine rush you wanted, unless it's like what I hear about gambling addicts, which is that you're addicted to losing too. If you want to feel
Yeah.
pain and shame, this might be a great place. I forget what the platform
Fanatics
is
Live. We'll
called.
drop our codes down below. Get you 25 free bucks.
Clicking the slide. VC, you've got some of these Breakers Delight exclusive parallels here.
Boy, oh boy, aren't they great? That's all we need to say about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Here in the lobby, we're in the lobby now. It's time for a little lobby talk.
Oh my god, that was exhausting.
That was the most we've talked about Star Wars trading cards.
I haven't hobby talked that hard in so long.
Which means we really had to get on our soapbox. My knees are sore from climbing up the stairs.
Oh my god. I think I strained something.
BC, to be quick about it, I just want to say that I listened to Hail Mary, which is something that's been recommended to me several times. This guy who wrote The Martian, it's a, I like my sci-fi space travel books. It's a hard sci-fi about someone on a mission, basically, to, of course, save the sun. But the premise is unique, and it's good hard sci-fi in that if you're a dumb guy like me, you're like, oh, that's a really good concept there. Oh, there's some really good physics here. And also, just shout out to this book for being, like, the grasp of human emotion is, or just, it's not even the grasp of, there's just so little emotion when the stakes are so high. It is very much about the concepts and, like, the lack of, like, interpersonal moments is really
kind of nice, isn't it?
it is kind of, usually that's exactly what I want, but it was so much of that in this book where it was like, it's a little weird that they never talk about their feelings. Like
they're way deep down.
They're saving, they're trying to save the planet and humanity, and they might die in the cold depths of space. But we're not really going to go into anything deep there.
How do you feel about it? I have no feelings one way or the other.
Maybe that's a little unfair, but I was struck by it. Anyway, it was a very fun, hard sci-fi book.
Nice.
I would recommend. It's very much like the Bobaverse books. There's maybe a little too many, like, I'm gonna reference an '80s movie, and it's like, I don't really need that, but whatever. It was a lot of fun, so there's that. Warning: minor spoilers for Alien Romulus ahead. And then
Alien Romulus, I immediately thought of you after you were the one who first shared the love of Alien with me way back when. Went and saw this yesterday. There is definitely a hot point of just bringing the dead back to life that happens in this, but we can address that in a second. I just want overall big picture. Setting that aside, what'd you think?
Yeah, well, Alien is my favorite movie of all time. I'm a big Alien head. My take is mostly that it's really hard for me to set aside the point of controversy in this movie for me. It has ruined movies for me in the past, and it does it again here. I guess the only other thing I can say is I've never fluctuated so much between I really love this and I really hate this. Like, that was after about the first act. Really, what started was, like, I don't think this is a spoiler. They get to the space station where most of the movie is going to take place, and they arrive, and I have there's no cue that things are scary, except that it's a derelict space station, until the music is immediately like, this is scary, this is scary, this is scary, this is scary. I was like, all right, can you let me breathe the sci-fi vibes a little bit? But anyway, from that point forward, it was kind of a lot of stuff that I really loved and a lot of stuff that I really did not like. And not just the point of contention. There was a lot of stuff where I was like, I don't like that.
Maybe a little
Why didn't they do this? But the production design, BC. Oh, there was some beautiful production design. The opening sequence was what a thing to see in the theater.
The beginning gave me some like Narkina 5 Andor vibes.
Yeah.
Which I dug. The production design was great. Absolutely hated the resurrection of the dead. Reminded me of Rogue One.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, can we take these waxy, terrible looking actual human beings who have died and stop digitizing their faces because we can't do it well.
It's amazing how much this would have been improved by a mask, by a rubber mask, which would have made more sense. There was just no reason for it to happen. There was less reason for it to happen in this movie than in Rogue One, which already it didn't make sense. And it is despicable to me to turn a dead artist into a prop, into a puppet.
I think you and I are both of the opinion, like artistically, creatively, and just like spiritually, that you can find an actor who probably looks close enough, stick them in the exact same clothes, give them a really good haircut, and we're gonna go along with what it is without being like, it has to look exactly like it, except being processed at not exactly the right speed through a computer, so it looks really fucking weird.
Yeah, really.
I don't know. Hollywood hasn't taken our notes yet. Fanatics hasn't taken our calls. I don't know, man. But
it makes me feel really lonely in the sense of like, oh, I guess I have a different moral perception of this than everyone who gave the thumbs up.
A lot of people had to agree to do that, and it was just like, at any point, was anyone
including
like,
people who were like, oh yeah, that guy I worked with 40, 50 years ago, yeah, fuck him. Yeah, fuck that guy in his memory.
Pretty sure he'd be okay with this. I can't ask him because he's dead, but pretty sure he'd be good with it. That aside, I really like enjoyed it. It like someone described it this way to me. It was like, it's not a great alien movie, but it's a pretty good horror movie. You know, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of get that. And it did feel kind of like a nice blend of like Alien and Aliens, you know, like it's on the in-between point.
Don't forget Resurrection, and like it did feel like a big like we're smashing the aliens together. I need to watch it again too, because I went and saw it late at night by myself, and you know, I didn't retain a lot of memory. I got there and I was in line for popcorn, actually, and the bar is next to me. My theater just reopened, by the way, so I'm like trying to support this theater that's like under new management. I'm in line to get the popcorn, and the bartender is like, "What do you want?" Like, you know, I'm kind of looking at the bar, kind of looking at the popcorn. They're like, I guess I'll get a vodka soda. Okay, you want a double? Yeah, okay, you convinced me. You know, like, so
sure, why not?
I had a pretty decent buzz on. I don't remember the whole thing extremely well, but I will see it again. Although it pains me to support what I think is a morally reprehensible acts
stuff.
But I do want to see it again in the theater. So that's I guess it got me there. There's some things I want to see.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable theatrical experience, which is really what I look for when I go to a movie. You know, it's like, do I feel like I got my money's worth and I'm putting popcorn in my face, you know?
Yeah, I wish I didn't walk out with kind of a bad taste in my mouth, because there were some really great visuals and some things that I really liked, and a few things where I was like, oh, I could fix this movie. I really could. Maybe we'll talk about it in the future, but I had very similar to like the Book of Boba Fett feelings, where it's like, you really could have done something. It was almost there in the script. Almost.
Hey, just to pitch, you know, whenever we're in top Star Wars lull, we do just go through the Alien movies because there's some that I haven't even seen.
Oh, I am a big defender of the Alien movies that are trash too.
Okay.
I think Alien 3 is one of my favorite movies, and it's like people hate that movie. Like,
yeah. Including its director, David Fincher.
yeah. Fincher wants nothing to do with it, but boy, it's a Fincher movie. It's hard to deny that when you watch it. And my big thing was this movie was almost like this movie was 20% away from being either my second or third favorite Alien movie, and instead it's maybe my fifth or sixth. Like I like and respect some of the worst Alien movies more than this. I think I watched Covenant for the first time not too long ago. I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm never seeing that shit. And then, like 4 years go by, it's late at night. I'm like, let's try this Covenant out. Boy, that movie, all I remember about it is it's one of the meanest movies I've ever seen. And I really appreciated it for that. I was just like, this is bleak and mean. Like, nobody's having a good time here, except for me. I had a pretty decent time.
Except for me, you little cat enjoying all that. I definitely need it. It reignited at least my interest in the franchise when I saw Rami. So I was like, oh, I need to go back and catch all the stuff that I haven't seen.
I love to hear that. That was they also borrowed heavily from one of my favorite games of all time, Alien Isolation. There were some big. It was a big influence on this movie, and some of the best stuff came from that.
That's funny because my partner, and I don't believe she knew this. As we were, sitting next to me watching the movie. She's like, "Oh, we're getting to the final boss." I'm like, "That we are going through a video game at various points in this movie." Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's
that tracks.
There's definitely some cheese in this movie too. It is not the artwork that Alien was. Boy, it could have been. It really could have been.
Alien is a perfect movie.
It's my favorite movie. But let me tell you, if you see that opening shot, hearing everybody's popcorn crunching, stop in their mouths as we got, I was like, this is good. This is why I go to the movies, to watch spaceships. Some of those model shots.
Yep. Oh. I love it.
That was good stuff. All right.
I love it.
Well, that's Alien Romulus.
We did it.
We did the thing.
Freaking did it.
We did a whole the cargo bay. This is back in the main feed. So if you're catching us here, we did some lives. Maybe we'll do some lives in the future. That was just me trying to be cut production time to nothing. But I think it makes sense for us to mostly do videos and put them in the feed.
Hey, yeah, we're glad you came. We're glad you stuck around. I know there are those of you who are still here.
You've said so in the past. Yeah,
you have.
You
and
at
we
least
appreciate
leave comments claiming that you make it to the end. So
and I never want you all to forget. Those of you who make it to the end of the videos, you're heroes. You're superstars. You're our number ones. Okay. So we appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who stuck around. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I strongly suspect if you're still here, you've already done that, though, so we appreciate you. If you haven't, shame on you. Like and subscribe. And that's really all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing else, PC. You said it best, and I'm at your command to close the cargo bay door. Hey, there's a cargo bay in Alien Romulus.
There is. There certainly is. You ready?
I'm ready.
Go. Shoom.
That was, literally just the exact timing of the door.
Yes.
Perfection.
Still got it, baby. Still got it.